Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel.
For a brand new video.
We in this.
We in this.
We out here. Well, we actually not out here. We in here.
We in here.
Because
in
it's
our
COVID.
house, where we normally
all
are.
inside because it's COVID.
That's right.
What are we talking about today?
So for today's video, we thought it would be fun to tell you guys the story of how we met.
And by we tell, I mean Lindsay, take it away.
Yeah, I can tell it. Okay, we met in 2016.
That's right.
So we met almost 5 years ago. We met at a show. So I was living in downtown Toronto, which I've talked about.
It was October.
It was October, yeah. I was living in downtown Toronto for a while. I talked about this in other videos. I was going to fashion school, so I was living really close to my fashion school in an apartment. And I had just made, well, like a year prior, I had made friends with two guys that I met at a bar that always played emo music. So I'd go to this bar every Friday where they always played emo stuff. They called it Homesick. And I became really close friends with these two guys. Their names were Andrew and Jesse. And we also used to go to a lot of shows together because obviously we met and bonded over music. That was the whole reason we became friends in the first place. And I remember they told me there was this show coming through. It was like Memphis Mayfire, Devil Wears Prada, somebody else, like Moths to Flames maybe? I don't know. It's not really that important. Anyway, so the show happens. Obviously we're all gonna go. So I go to my friend Jesse's house beforehand because his house, or his apartment really, he lived in an apartment building as well. It was sort of like the central area for all of our bar friends to meet up before going places. Like everyone would go to his apartment specifically first. It was like the place.
That's where you go to get shit-faced before getting shit-faced.
Yeah, yeah.
And then everybody, as shit-faced as possible, rolls out into the cab.
Yeah, into like
a fleet of cabs
one
if necessary.
or several.
Yeah.
Ubers or cabs.
And then we all make it to the bars, stumbling in, then the night happens.
Exactly.
That was like always the spot to go and pre-drink and meet up with all the crew before going out to whatever we were getting up to that night.
Exactly. So this was exactly one of those nights. It was on a Friday, but before going to that usual emo event at the bar, we were gonna go see the show because shows in Toronto always end at 11 o'clock.
And then bar opens at 11, let's go!
Yeah, and bar closes at 2, so you have plenty of time in between. So everything is normal. I go, there's like a little posse there. Some people I knew, some people I had just seen, whatever, at Jesse's house. So we all leave and we go to the show. And we're at the show and I notice this tall, long, blonde-haired guy.
I guess that might have been me.
Which is Wyatt. So I noticed him at this show, right? And I keep like my eye on him. He stands out from a crowd like crazy. If any of you guys have ever seen us at a show, which happens every once in a while, Wyatt stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, Wyatt stands out like a sore thumb. Like he's so noticeable. This crazy head of blonde hair.
I got a big head. I get it. I got a big head. I understand.
Okay, yeah. So I notice him. Then at some point, just before like the last band goes on, I notice my friend Jesse talking to Wyatt. So then I was like, wait, my friend is friends with that guy? I was like, hey God, I see something happening here. So then,
oh my God.
So then we go and we watch the headliner and then the show ends and everybody pours out at once. It's total chaos. So I just get in the cab with my two friends and we go to the bar. We go to the emo event, right? And then
Sticky D's, shout out to Toronto homies.
Incredible stroke of luck. Wyatt's there too. So you're also there. I saw you there too. And I was like, oh my God, this is my moment. I am gonna talk to him. I am in this to win it. I'm just gonna go up and talk to him.
Every time you tell this, I get like butterflies again. You get so much more into it every time you tell it.
Because it's so good. And like I want to tell it theatrically. We're in a video.
Oh, fair.
Usually I just tell it when someone asks like offhandedly in a stream.
Camera rolling.
Camera rolling. So I have like whatever, like whiskey sours in my belly. I'm ready to go.
Not even whiskey sours. Lemonade plus Jack sours, whatever that is.
Yeah.
That's not a whiskey sour.
A bar rail drink of some sort.
Yeah.
In my belly. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk to this guy. I'm feeling confident. I march right up to him. And for whatever reason, my brain goes, tell him he looks familiar. So I go up to you and I'm like, you look familiar.
And I shut her down.
He dead serious.
Out of the park.
Looks at me, turns around, looks at me for 1 second, goes, I don't think so. Turns around.
Yeah, you said, you look familiar. Do I know you?
Do I know you?
And then I turned around and went, I don't think so. And then I turned around.
And that was it.
And that was the end of that.
He was gone.
I was gone. Just
He was
like
gone.
that. Later. Wyatt done messed up.
So it didn't work, essentially.
No.
And I had been feeling so confident about it. So I walked away. I kind of brushed it off.
Oh, wait.
I was like, whatever. I'll just hang out with my friends, I guess. Enjoy the rest of the night. Whatever. Still kind of eyeing you up. But I did, in the cab, the final cab, going home that night, because I lived very close to Jesse's apartment. So sometimes we would take like one cab and then get dropped off, or I'd go to his house first. Whatever. So we were going home and then I was asking him like questions about you. Like what your name is, etc., etc. So that the next day I could add you on Facebook.
That night was like an emotional night for me. There was a lot of personal stuff going on, and I got way too intoxicated on several things. I was faded. We were outie. I was so faded that her friend Jessie at one point had to come outside and sit with me. Not had to. He's a sweetheart. Volunteered.
He volunteered.
He volunteered. Because I remember at one point I was inside the show and everyone's coming up to me, like all these kids that know me from the scene, that I've played in bands with or know from music or whatever. I was like really turned, and I was standing in kind of an obvious place at one point, not really realizing which way's up and down. And this dude from this band that I knew really well came up to me, and he kind of like put his hand on my shoulder like that, and he was like, "Wyatt, what is up?" Like he's like super into this engagement, whatever.
Very excited.
And I don't even remember any of this happening. I was told this happened the next day by him. Okay. It was a laugh at that point, but he said to me that basically he came up and did that, and then I looked him straight in the eye and turned and walked out of the building. And it was at that point where like I was like, if I don't get out of here, I'm gonna pass out. So I got outside, and there was like the next building over had like an outdoor patio that no one was in because the building was all shut down. It was like some kind of restaurant, but there was like benches that you could sit at. So I sat down on one of those, and I just like got my composure, got myself back together. And Jesse came out, and I was sitting there. Jesse told me I was sitting there for like 45 to an hour.
Oh my God.
And I don't remember it being that long. I feel like it was like maybe 10 minutes. I don't know what was going on. I trust Jesse at that moment.
Yeah.
I was in a really bad, like this was 4 years ago. 5 years ago now, I was in a really dark place in my life, and I was just like punishing myself for it kind of thing. And I was sitting on the bench. Jesse came out and sat with me like a sweetie. He sat with me for a while, and he was just talking to me, like making sure I'm good. Yeah. You know, I didn't throw up. I didn't pass out. Like I kind of figured out that, hey, we're definitely at that point. Let's just take it easy. Relax for a sec, you know. And then we get to the bar later on when you came up to me, and I was still kind of just like not really there. And that's why that happened like it did.
Yeah.
For me, the whole story, like none of that was, because I was so like blacked out at that point. None of that really was like, I don't have this like vivid recollection like you do. But the thing
you don't have a love at first sight like I do.
No, I don't even remember. I don't, like you told me that's what happened. I don't even remember that necessarily happening like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I can picture it going down like that, but I don't even know. So
listen, I don't ever really approach people first. So me being shot down like that was like, it stands out in my memory.
Wow.
Like, because I don't normally put myself.
An asshole.
I don't normally put myself in a position to be shot down in the first place.
Damn, dude.
But I felt confident because I'm like, well, maybe he realizes I'm friends with his friend, so he'll be like chill about it.
I wasn't chill about anything at that time.
Yeah,
like it didn't. Honestly, I might have shot you down even if I was sober, because I was like, I had just come out of I come out of some shit. We ain't gonna talk about in this video.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I hadn't met you or realized you were friends with my friend before, because you were not even in Canada. Yeah,
no, I was living in the States for the year prior.
Yeah,
and up to all kinds of band stuff and traveling places, and it was just a lot had happened, so I wasn't even around, and that's what it was. It was like I was coming back, and this was the first month I was back home, and I was seeing Jesse again, and I was meeting up. Like obviously I was with Matt, because you know Matt, and Jordan, and like a bunch of dudes that I like knew from Toronto at the time, and I was kind of coming back and like getting to see them all again for the first time, and it was just all so much for me, and I just took it way too far. Big mistake. But the fun part, like the exciting part for me, was like the next day when you hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah,
that was the cool part, because we got to talking on Facebook.
Yeah, and so we should pick the story back up.
That's when we're gonna pick the story back up, because that's when it started to get like a lot better. Because when we started talking on Facebook, she just messaged me out of the blue, and we just started talking. And one of the things that blew my mind was like, she knew of a band that a lot of you guys probably know of, but there's definitely a lot that don't, because they're a little bit smaller, but they're kind of like, they're the kind of band that like, if you know about this band, they're one of those bands like, if at least in my opinion at the time, especially now too, they're one of those bands that like, if you know about that band, it has such implications into like the type of person you are and the scene that you're from, and like who you like keep as company and those kinds of things. At least it did in my mind, especially when you're like in the music scene as like much as we were. So that band was Cancer Bats, and like the fact that you knew, not only did you know who Cancer Bat was, but you told me. I was like, what kind of music do you listen to? Expecting to get that like everything except country, and I was like, howdy, you know, like. So she says Cancer Bats is my favorite band ever. I have a tattoo for Cancer Bats.
Two, actually.
So she says this to me, and I was like, what?
They're like very like underground hardcore punk, local to the Toronto scene.
Yeah, and like every relationship up until this point in my life hadn't really worked out because the person I was with didn't see eye to eye with me on the music. So when you said to me, you were like, yo, Cancer Bat's my favorite band ever, I was like, whoa, hold the fuck up. You know? And then from there it just became history. Like we made plans to hang out again at Jesse's birthday party, which was happening like a week or two later.
Coincidentally, it was like 1 or 2 weeks exactly after that date, because it was also on a Friday.
Yeah, and we hit it off, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole story. We've been together ever since.
Yeah.
So it started a little rocky, but worked out.
We really connected over music, as we do still to this day. Like that's one of the things that we do the most is these reaction videos. videos for you guys, which is obviously the two of us, Wyatt and Lindsay or whatever. And we're still just connecting over music, but now just doing it publicly, which is cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, Sigga all worked out. All worked out in the end, even though I shot you down like a douche.
I know. So hard.
Fucking doucher there, bud.
I couldn't believe it. It took so much for me to muster that up too.
Wow.
Like I said, I don't ever usually approach people for.
Even just you telling it in the story, like just now for the camera, it felt so sad. I felt so sad.
And picture, I'm so small. I'm like a foot shorter than him. Sir?
Yeah. You tug at the coat. Sir.
Yeah.
Do I know you? Yeah. And I was a bigger dude. I can see that. Yeah. I'm 6'3". She's 5'3". So a literal foot in difference.
Yeah.
So she comes up to this big dude, you know, with all the fucking thugged out homies. You know, we were in a circle of them, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Your homies didn't really faze me though. Because that's the kind of like the homies you were with were the exact type of patrons that always frequented that bar.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it was okay about them.
That's true.
But it was you that was scary.
You were in that scene.
Yeah.
I was scary, really?
Do you ever know like the facial expression you give off when you don't really want to be talked to?
Me?
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was in a lot of situations where I was talking to people that I didn't want to really be talking to. So at the times, yeah, I've been told that I had really, really bad resting bitch face.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah.
So I don't know what it looked like, but I've been told that. But now life's a lot different.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
Exactly.
A lot changed in the last 5 years. So
yeah.
Thank God.
You know what's fun
God
though?
It changed.
We can put this on the screen. I have a couple photos of me and Wyatt at that event shortly after we just got together.
Yeah.
So I will put those on the screen so you guys can see them. Yeah.
Cool. So there you go. That's the fairy tale all y'all wanted to hear about.
That's the story. It's not just as simple as we swiped right on Tinder and
No.
it was a cool organic story, I think. That's why I like to tell it so much.
Yeah, when people be like, when did you guys meet? We can actually be like, at a Memphis show, I guess. No, we didn't meet at a Memphis show. You saw me at the Memphis show.
I saw you.
And then you talked to me first at a scene bar in Toronto. And then we like, yeah. Cool, guys. Yeah, so let us know what you guys thought of our love story down below. I don't know.
So cute.
I don't know.
So cute.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Damn, that was difficult for me to get through, but yeah, it's out there now. Enjoy it, I guess, or whatever you're gonna do with that, with that information that half y'all didn't even ask for, but
now you have it.
now you have it. So love y'all. Thanks so much for checking out this video. We'll see you all very soon with something new.